economics research started by showing that there's a gender wage gap, which is that women earn significantly less than men. This wage gap exists even if we look in the same firm. And then follow-on research showed that most of the gender wage gap can be explained by different titles or positions that the women hold. So women have lower and lower representation as we climb the corporate ladder. So ultimately, the gender wage gap maps onto the gender promotion gap, which is women are less likely to be promoted into higher level positions. We decided to look into the 9-box rating system. This system recognizes that on-the-job performance and potential are two different things. There are 9 total boxes. Workers get rated 1, 2, or 3 on performance, and they also rated 1, 2, or 3 on management potential. And that way you could have a worker that's rated a 3 on performance, but only a 1 or 2 on potential. That worker would be recognized to be a strong performer, but maybe not someone we want to consider for promotions. On the other hand, you could have a worker that's only rated a 2 on performance, but is believed to have a lot of management potential, so is rated a 3 on potential, and therefore that's someone we would want to consider for promotions. What is commonly talked about in terms of management potential is characteristics such as assertiveness, execution skills, charisma, leadership, ambition. So these are, I believe, real traits. They're also highly subjective. And what we saw in the data is a pretty strong bias against women in assessments of potential. On the other hand, what we found is among the women who are promoted, these promoted women actually outperform as managers compared to the men. So it appears that they were held to a higher standard. The problem is actually the least apparent at the lowest level in the hierarchy. And then women get progressively lower potential scores relative to their actual future performance as we rise in the corporate ladder. So this is going to contribute, I think, to a stronger and stronger glass ceiling effect the higher up we go. Sometimes women aren't promoted because it's believed that they might leave the firm and they might leave the labor force altogether in order to have children or take care of children. But if anything in our data set, it seems like the women are more likely to stay. They're assessed to have lower risk of leaving the firm. Some research has suggested that managers may not want to support their subordinates if they fear competition from them. So they don't want to be replaced with one of their former subordinates. We've looked at how this varies with manager performance. And if anything, it's among the higher performing managers where this gender gap in potential ratings is the largest. We were surprised, I think, by the fact that having a female didn't solve the problem. Because we thought the group that would be least likely to have these stereotypes of a male leadership in mind would be female managers. There are ways to use algorithms and machine learning to possibly reduce bias. One simple way would be to first use subjective ratings, but then to just assess in the data, does it seem like overall women are getting lower ratings? If they're simultaneously getting lower potential ratings while getting higher performance ratings, and also their performance as managers seems to be high, that suggests that there's something wrong with the potential ratings for women. The other way to do it is to look at other available data and see what variables actually forecast being a good manager. In our previous research relating to sales workers across many different firms, what we found is experience working with many different people on group sales predicted being a very capable manager. I started thinking about how important gender negotiation is. It also makes me wonder whether general pushiness and self-promotion might matter for our context of women getting lower potential ratings. So I wonder how much of this is the manager who's giving the potential assessment being unconsciously or consciously biased against female employees, or it could be the gender difference These slight differences could then translate into differences in the actual promotion that we observe in the data.